we heard the big boom. And we turned around. My husband was the first that really recognized it.
And that was the end of Bill and Betsy Raper's quiet day on the open water.
He zoomed over. He was on the fuel compartment. It blew him out and into the water. And then the other guy jumped in.
With their grandkids on board, the couple jumped into action.
We got the one guy to swim over. He got in the boat. And then the other guy we held alongside the boat because he needed to stay in the water because he was badly burned, so it was better for him to stay in the water than get out at that moment because you couldn't really touch him to pull him up.
They say 46-year-old Rolando Cruz and 45-year-old Angel Perez were conscious but confused. Moments earlier, the men had been on their 32-foot cruiser anchored in the Intracoastal near Peanut Island when the boat exploded.
It was pretty scary with how just looking into their eyes, you could see they were in shock.
Both of the men held on tight to the Raper's boat until first responders came to their side. This as thick smoke shot into the air, visible as far as the eye could see.
I would say that what they did was heroic.
When the two were eventually rescued from the water by paramedics, severe and life-threatening burns covered a majority of their bodies. The men were rushed to St. Mary's Medical Center. Angel Perez later died from complications from his injuries.
It makes you appreciate life.
It was less than an hour. The smoke subsided and the boat was nothing more than ash. What caused the fiery scene remains a mystery, but investigators say it looks like a simple accident that had deadly consequences. Authorities say the two men on board were not wearing life jackets. The Coast Guard is handling the investigation from here. Live in the newsroom, I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV News Channel 5.
Kristen, thank you. And both of the men on that boat were burned by the flames from that boat explosion, as Kristen mentioned. One of them did not make it. As for the other, he is receiving treatment right now at St. Mary's Medical Center. Our team coverage continues tonight with Dan Kraut, who just got back from the hospital.
Shannon, it was a dramatic and emotional day at St. Mary's Medical Center. The two men were good friends and expecting to enjoy an afternoon out on the water. Now tonight, their families are mourning the loss of one while hoping for a full recovery for the other. Our cameras rolled as paramedics rushed the men to St. Mary's Medical Center, just a few miles away from the marina. Doctors say Angel Perez was inside the boat when it happened and suffered burns to 80% of his body. But it was the smoke damage that ultimately killed him.
The problem is that if there's a flame in a closed space, then the fumes build up. Smoke and plastics burn, and there's some kind of toxins in the air. And then when you try to breathe, you inhale that into your lungs.
Doctors are treating the other passenger, Rolando Cruz, for first and second degree burns to his face and arms.
Pressure of the heat kind of gave him like a flash burn to his face. He's very lucky. The one with severe, he jumped in the water right away. And I think because of that, he minimized the amount of burns of injury.
Family members of both men, as you can imagine, were visibly upset when walking into the hospital and didn't want to talk to us on camera. The chief medical director says Cruz will have a long and painful recovery ahead of him and that his situation could have been a lot worse.
May heal very quickly, or it could make scars and, go into need more treatment, such as surgery, skin grafting, and so forth.
Doctors are waiting until tomorrow to see the full extent of Cruz's injuries. If they get any worse, he could be flown to a hospital in Miami for treatment. We, of course, will keep you posted on what happens. Dan Kraut, WPTV News Channel 5.